All right, I'm gonna get started. Whoever's in here, what's up? What's going on? All right, what do we got? We got the 22 week up. We want the 101 day. No, the 100 and sorry, the 108 day. That's my chart of the day. All right. So look, man, I've been thinking a lot about Bitcoin and a lot about what's going on in the world. And first, I guess I don't know whether to address price or the state of the world or whatever, or I don't know what people care about. But really, um, there's a lot to think about because I mean these big time players, they don't trade the daily. I mean they trade like the 9 month chart. You know what I mean? There's a big gap in the 9 month chart. There's two blue vectors right here that probably need to go get tested at some point. But whether you go up or down is the question at hand, right? So, just taking a look, all right, at the chart that I got up, all right. You come on over, you can see I got a couple indicators on here. They show you where the supply is, right? So you got some guys up here. They're probably not going to get out. Let's be honest. But you got some lower side supply that you can come take down here, probably like around 36, 35K, where this guy can sell a little bit lower, this guy can sell a little bit higher, and you can have some nice balance in there, and this guy can get out of his long position or a short position, whatever's in there. All right. That's basically where I think price is going to end up going, around $36,000, $35,000. Now, whether you go down first and then up, I guess is the question. Because right now, what we got going on is I take a look at the 9 day. For my daily chart, for making daily decisions, I go to the 9 day chart. All right. Why do I do that? I do that because back when things were getting crazy, FTX and all that, what have you. I heard people talking about, is it gonna bottom at the 200 EMA on the weekly or the 800 EMA on the daily or whatever it was. But I'm a big believer in Tesla, and I'm a big believer in Tesla numbers. So I threw on the 369 EMA on there, and I started going through it, and I said, all right, well, so where was it at on the daily? I look for that, and am I above or below? Most people measure things by the 50 or the 200, right? But as you can see, like that doesn't always work out, right? So here's a good example of when that doesn't work out. So right here, and let me take off the liquidity real quick. All right, right here, we went down below the 200, right? In this move up. All right. Now I identified that from something I'd seen from a Steve Marrow course, right, where they do like something they call a 33 trade, right, where you get like this 33 trade up here, you get 3 levels of drop, right below the Mayo. Well, he calls it the Mayo. It's the 200 EMA. 1, 2, 3 levels of drop below the Mayo, and he always talked about in the video how it stayed there, and he snatches it back almost instantly. And I was like, yo, we got to get long here right now. Like, we got to get long on Bitcoin at 19.5K. We got to do that. So, some of us that are in the Discord, we got long there and we did pretty well. I threw my boy Jordan, right? I threw him a $5 super chat, told him to put it on 100x long. He would have made bank, that would have made him bank, but I don't think he did. He forgot. Nonetheless, so I went to the daily. I saw that setup. I was like, all right, there's a daily setup, sweet. But the 369 EMA was just laying up there. I was like, all right, it tapped it. Interesting. So it gave me that trade, right? The 369 gave me that trade. So I was like, all right, well, if it gave me that trade on the daily, where is it at on like the 2 day? I was like, all right, well, it's up there. Funny enough, we've consolidated around the 369 EMA on the 2 day. Now, I went through the whole dailies, but if you go through them all, you can go look and you go, oh my God, if I had just gone to the 9 day and it would have seen that Bitcoin bottomed at the 369 EMA. How many pins on the 9 day time frame did it have? It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins. I think it's 5 if I can see this right. I got all this stuff in the way. Make this a little bit lighter. Yeah. There's some pins there. And if you switch it to like Heikin Ashi, you can see it a little bit better. All right. So we got some pins. 1, 2, 3 pins to the 369. Those were the lows. And then you got followed up by some more pins. All right. So basically, anytime it was pinning the 369 EMA. That's a long in like the astrological world for these people. Okay. Boom. After that, big move up. So if you play the 369 EMA, you're good. All right, so I got my eye on that. So now I got to count backwards, in essence, right, to see where I'm at. Because it gave me that on the daily. Where is it at on the 8-day? On the 8-day, it's kind of hitting the open interest here, all right? But really, you do, like, if you're 369, you do 9-6. So let's go to the 6. The 6 is sitting right in the middle at 21K, all right? You got a vector here and a vector here. You got liquidity here, all right? However, the cycle is in a weird spot right now because of the pattern, because they got people stuck. So you got to ask yourself, what am I going to get? Because here's the last cycle. The last cycle, you got this beautiful, what is this? Yeah, here. Jesus, getting spied on. Last cycle, you got this beautiful W formation, right? Beautiful. Where's your exit? The exit's the M. All right? It's so gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, to balance that out, you would think there needs to be another W somewhere over here, right? So you can kind of make kind of like a cross. So like the X, right? Elon with the X. What he means is, in my opinion, is to make the X between the M and the W. You make the X, all right, to see where price could go, right? That's in essence what I think that he means, all right? And I have a theory on that, all right, because I don't know how these guys trade. In my opinion, on the 6-day time frame, you should be looking out for the 800 EMA, all right? On the 3-day time frame, where's your 800? Your 800 is right here. That could be a bouncing point at 20K. All right. If you're going on the 8-day time frame, you might want to look a little lower, right? So on the 8-day time frame, you got a nice gap right down in here at 9K. All right. So where's the supply and where is the demand? All right. And why is there supply, right? And why would there be demand? Is Bitcoin the future, Blaze? Let's talk about it. So if you ever watch The Big Short or something like that, the guy goes, in that movie, the guy goes, can you make me a market? So there was a problem, and he's like, can you make me a market? So you got to make a market for this thing. It makes money. How do you make a market for it? Why does this thing even exist? Do you even know if Satoshi is real? I don't freaking know. Who cares, right? It moves, so we trade it. And it's not exactly an investment as much as it is a trading vehicle, right? So, interestingly enough, I'm looking for higher time frame 369 EMAs for possible bottoms. So, you got the 14-day just got one. And I have a whole theory on why the 369 is so important. Let me give you another example. You got CZ with the number 4, all right? Why does he do that? What does that number 4 mean? Look at BNB for a second, all right? Where's my BNB chart? I got a lot of freaking coins on here, dude. All right. XRP, even better, man. XRP, yo. XRP, where are you? 9-day chart. Look at that. Right at the 369 EMA on the 9-day chart. It was so gorgeous, right? But then you go to like BNB and you want to know what the hell BNB is up to. Where are you? Let's just type it in. Oh, there it is. BNB USD. All right. No 369 EMA. However, what's he always holding up? That 4. Right? Not there on the USD chart. Right? But if you go to the perpetuals, I know, I've seen it. Where are you? 4-day chart? It's there. I know it's there. I saw it the other day. It was on one of the BNB charts. Nonetheless, it's there. Check it out. All right. I don't know which one it is. It's one of the BNB charts. All right. Nonetheless, let's focus on Bitcoin because that's what everyone loves. And Bitcoin has the oldest chart, so we want to focus on that. So here you go. 4-day chart. You're sitting right at the 369 EMA. All right. However, you bottomed at the 9. All right. So if you know anything about Tesla numbers, you got 1, 2, and 4. Confirm on 9. Confirm on 3. 5, 6, 7. All right. 8. Confirm on 6, and they all confirm on 9. So all the dailies need to at least pass this point right here for the daily time frame to be validated as a bottom. If it goes below this EMA on the daily time frame, we need to move to the weekly because this is support on the daily as far as EMAs go. If you think you're going to go lower, all right. Now, there's other time frames that give you a lot of information. First, if you use angel numbers are double-digit numbers. For example, like the 44 week. All right, the 44 week has a lot of blue volume here. All right, a lot of blue volume. All right, this is a lot of volume. I would expect the reversal here. That's reversal volume right there, where you would think you might be coming down to whatever 13K, right? It's 1,300. That's a big vector. All right. I mean, you go to regular candles. I mean, did you take half of this vector? That's what you really got to ask yourself. Did you take half? No, you missed half. No, you took half of the vector on the 44 day. All right. So then you go to the 33 day, and you can see there it is. There's another one. 33 day, bangarang. All right. Did you take half of this vector? You just missed it, right? The 21 came into play and it was done for. All right. So you might want to go to the 22 day. All right. I'm sorry, the 22 week. All right. Because these people, they trade these freaking angel numbers, but really the one weekly time frame that gets everyone all effed up is the 24-week time frame, and there's a reason for that based on some of this math here that I've been getting into and whatever. But in essence, this is the time frame where you want to be looking into. All right, so Elon says X, so I make an X, and here's where I don't know whether to go into this now to hold your attention or to go through the rest of it because you're gonna think that I'm a nutto. All right, so before I go into how I come up with this stuff, you got to understand a couple little things. All right. First of all, this guy I follow, Armstrong Economics, the Plandemic, Tyranny's Christmas gift for 2023. Reliable sources warn that the government knows what it has done to Trump to expose Trump supporters and to try all this stuff, right? Blah blah blah. Basically, it's crazy politics and war stuff and all this other stuff. But go check this guy out. All right. More importantly, he does have this cool AI model. All right. If you want to, he has a thing on CBDCs and stuff like that. All right. He's got these cool pie targets, right? Basically nailed the April 10th, 2023 low, right? He's got a high here in May of 7th to 8th of 2024. All right. Going into 2028. So if you want, commit that to memory, take a screenshot of it. All right. And then in essence, this is the economic model that I'm following. Okay. Because his has been pretty accurate. All right. So the dollar, he has an AI system he calls Socrates. It's really, really, really good. It gives you these timing arrays. So, basically the dollar is kind of bearish according to this array. All right. In essence. So we're going to be looking for Bitcoin to have a pretty good 2024. All right. But not a great 2025 because based on this, we top out right around the halving. Funny how the top coincides with the fourth halving. X, how do you make a market? You don't want to send this thing to Hades before the halving, or do you want to buy a bit lower? All right. Get the ETF in back at 20K, send it to 70K, 80K, I don't know. All right. So Here you go. You got he's got a target up here of about 120 for the dollar on the monthly, but you got some resistance here at 104. In essence, usually we bottom. You know, we have a W formation, and I was expecting 97 on the dollar, but we didn't quite get that. All right, nonetheless, going back in, I'll throw this one in the chat. You guys can read that on your own. That's right. All right, you can read that one on your own. I won't go through it. And then you got to ask yourself, you know, what the hell is blockchain? What is it, and why did it come from? You know, so go through the history of it. I'm not going to go through this on the stream. You guys can read this on your own. All right, but more importantly, study astrology because this stuff matters. All right, study the hidden numbers. All right, because these are your time frames, guys. These are your time frames. Everything that this guy says with your numbers and stuff like that, these are the time frames that they use. All right. Study how the W formation is formed. All right. Because money gets passed around from market maker to market maker, right? Asia passes it to London. London passes it back to Sydney. Sydney passes it to US. You know, US passes it back to Asia, and then you get a W. So figure that out, all right? And figure out what part of the cycle you're in, all right? And you got to figure things out. You know, this is some more like, it's just more like math stuff, but it's some more geometry for you, all right? Figure this out. I'll put it all in the chat, all right? I don't want to bore anybody. You know, I've been studying this page a lot. In essence, you know, I really like harmonics, you know. This is like capital flows as of recently, all right? So we had the daily and the monthly and the weekly. Like money's flowing out of the US and into Asia at the moment. They say that they're lying to you when you hear Asia's in a bad market. They're lying to you, okay? You have to understand that, all right? I mean... I don't want to go too far into it, but where's the guy? This guy has those money market capital flows. All right, but Asia money is flowing into Asia. I'll bring it up for you real quick. I don't want to waste your time looking for it, but yeah, it was looking pretty damn good. Where's Socrates? Oh, there's Socrates. All right, so look, come back over Socrates. Take a quick look at the capital flows. All right. Capital flows on the daily, money is flowing out of America. All right. The projections for the weekly are them to keep flowing into the east. And the monthly is for it to keep flowing into the east. So all the money is going into this region of the world and it is coming out of ours. Okay. I'm going to explain to you why that is, by the way. All right. There's a big thing going on with XRP that I gotta let you guys in on. All right, so figure out that. All right, this one I'm gonna figure out. All right, here your world economy. All right, China is almost overtaking the United States. All right, period. End of story. All right, you got the BRICS versus the G7. All right, the BRICS just had their August 19th to 2022 their little summit. All right, Putin went. All right. Something went down there, all right? And it shows in the way the price just held, right? It just stalled. No movement because the elites are talking. The gods are debating, all right? All right, cool. That's that. All right, some interesting charts. Now, you guys want to know about Bitcoin. Let me show you a really interesting chart, all right? One of the charts I've been looking at is I've been taking Bank of America, and I've been dividing it by XRP. So let me give you an example. So, like, what's going on here, right? You look at silver XRP divided by the Bank of America, right? If you do those little equations in TradingView, it gives you a lot of information, all right? So like, let me give you an example, all right? You split your screen, right? And you go, let's go to like a 3-screen view real quick, all right? You split your screen and you go over here, you got, let's go Bank of America, right? Let's just go Bank of America, BOA, all right? Come on. What's up with this? Oh, Mother trucker. All right, Bank of America. I'm gonna go through my whole freaking list now. But if you do this, it gives you a lot of information. All right. So if you do this, you'll see Bank of America got liquidated by whoever they were trading on, whatever Coinbase. They got out traded by CZ, and you can see it in the price. All right. They got liquidated out of a lot of gold and silver. All right. And you can see it here. So here, Bank of America. All right. You can go to XRP, USD, and then you can go to Bank of America, XRP, gold, whatever it was. All right. And then I want you to go to the 11-month chart. All right. You do this, and you can see quite a bit. XRP, Bank of America. Let me go to my red list here. I got all these weird. I know. I must look like a nutto, but XRP gold. Here, let's do that. All right. You go to the 11-month chart. All right. 11 month, 11 month, 11 month. All right. Here's Bank of America. 3 months ago. All right. You had a nice little drop. Right. How much? 30%. What did XRP do? USD. Look at the gap. Right? There was a liquidation there. All right? What happened? Right here. When the stop got hit, right, XRP pumped. Bam. 623% from here to here. So 233%. Then you got XRP Gold, Bank of America. Look at the wick on this 11-month chart, man. Look at the freaking wick. That's a liquidation. That's a liquidation wick. All right? You can see it. Down 60%. All right? There's something going on there. All right? There's something going on there. All right? So, I mean, look. Now, they're the sellers because they have to buy from XRP and sell their coin. So XRP, when people are always whining about XRP selling their coin, right? They're selling it to the banks because they're trading against and with the banks. That's what's going on. All right? So, and the banks take out leverage. What do they banks have to leverage? Well, they have gold, they have silver, they have a lot of things. What do they have left? Really, all they have left is cash, apparently, because let me give you another good example. I sent this to my friend today. Well, I don't want to bring up my messages, but JP Morgan was just indicted on fraud, right? Because, you know, let's go to JP Morgan, right? So you can go like this, XRP / gold / silver / JP Morgan Chase. Why is this up? They're never getting out because they've been liquidated. These are liquidations. All right. They took a long, they took a short, they took a long, and they were liquidated on that candle right there. Now, it hasn't shown up yet. All right. Because the money is behind the scenes. They're deciding what to do with it. Right. So you have to let some time pass, let the orders come in. But that's what happened. All right. That's what happened. They are the ones, because you got to ask yourself why price goes up, right? This is a down candle. That's a short. If that is a short, right, you would have expected price to come back to half the wick. But it didn't come back there, right? It just pumped because someone else took that leverage against them. All right, so someone was trading against the banks. Who that is, I don't know. I have my theories. All right. Nonetheless, let's go back to some astrology nonsense for you, for my gang. All right. So here we go. Here's your astrology. You're gonna love this crap. All right. Let's open the fib up. We got a path. I'll try to do this. Here we go. I'm gonna throw all this up. All right, it's going to look a little nuts, but if you got to make a market, right, for the future, you need a future chart. right? The only thing that can tell you the future is astrology. So, you got to make it look like the mother trucking universe. All right? And you're going to be like, yo, this chart looks nuts. But you got to understand what's going on here. All right? Because there's bigger players at play here. All right? Let's go back to the 108-day chart. I think that's what I did it off of. 108 days. Right here. All right. Here you go. So, look. The sellers are in control. All right? Why are they selling? All right? In essence, if you look, you make an X. All right? Here's your X right here. All right? Bang. X. All right? And then you can do a reversal diamond. All right? Around the X, but you got to poke it out a little bit. I can show you how to draw it maybe on like a smaller time frame, right? To see what the next candle is going to do, which would be this line right here. All right? You're going to ask why that is blue. All right? And what the hell time frame did I do it on? The 44 week, 22 week. I forget which one I did it on. I'm forgetting because I'm live. You can even go to your 69 day. All right, 69 is another good number because in essence that's yin and yang. All right, so you can go to your 69 day. So you got liquidity down here. All right, but this is old liquidity. All right, that's not exactly what they're going to be looking for. All right, so let's go to your 9-month chart. All right, so here's your volume over the past 9 months. All right, this is your volume. On your 4-month chart, there's your volume. Where's your liquidity at? All right, that's what you want to know because that's all people care about. All right, so here's your liquidity. The liquidity has a nice little W formation to it, but you may want to come tap that liquidity. All right, there's a lot of liquidity in here. All right, how do you get from here to here, right? So by January, before the halving, and do you want to do that? All right. So if you come down here, right, you're going to have a lot more trouble getting back up into here and selling high. All right. And I got these 2 fractals. All right. And I can show you how to do this on XRP. It's actually even better on XRP. It's easier. But you got these 2 fractals. So you can either dump, right? Because this is a reversal candle, a reversal diamond at the top of a bubble. All right. Crypto's in a bubble. All right, you can bring it down here to 8K, which everyone is saying that they want, right? Or you're in control. Whoever just got liquidated, because price just stopped there. It's just bang, stopped, and it just paused. Usually you would see it move up or keep dumping, but it's just stagnant. It just stopped, right? So they're deciding what to do with the liquidity that they just grabbed. Do they want to go up, right? And tap this supply up here, let the lower level sellers out, the higher level sellers, but then Coinbase gets the short from up top, right? Why would you want to give them a higher level short after you just liquidated them, right? Because your swing high is up here, right? They liquidated them right here. You can even see it. So they just tapped that liquidity right here. It's my red line. I'll make it thick. They tapped them. They liquidated their short by pumping the price. All right? They tapped them. Now they're holding short. Well, they're going to want to realize a return on those shorts and get long themselves. All right? So I do kind of expect price to come down. But do you come down all the way to 8K, 9K? Right? You could do that. Right? But then you lose whatever leverage is currently there on like whatever time frame it is, on like the daily, right? So right now you got guys sitting up here, sitting pretty in shorts, right? I know some people are. I know some people that took the short from 31, 4K, whatever. You got a lot of leverage. Oh, this looks crazy. You got a lot of leverage right here. Look at that. You got leverage up there. You got 100K, 25K shorts, right? There's liquidity up here. You can come up and take it, but then you give them a higher level short. You just snagged their short and you got down here in a pretty good hurry. All right. They tried to get back their short. They tried to pump the price, right? See, this is buying and selling slowly, right? So they have Coinbase trapped short up here, and they don't want to let them out. Because if they come back there, okay, then they could pump the price more, you know, and however they're going to pump the price, they could pump the price more and try to short at a higher level. All right? So it's a tough decision, because if they do come there, and here's another trick for you. All right? You can just go, I know Blockchain Backer, he's always drawing his fibs, right? Sometimes price just goes to the 236 extension. That's the market maker fib. That's what they call it. The 0.32 extension, where you want to build liquidity, low level liquidity to the top so you can go lower. All right. In essence, that's what you wanted to do. I mean, if you look at the 5-day chart, where is the liquidity? The liquidity is all here. So if you just follow that, which way is the liquidity flowing? The liquidity is flowing down. All right. It made a retrace, but it's still going down, right? You could come all the way down to 8K, all right? It makes sense, all right? So I want to keep another thing in your mind, all right? It's a commodity boom going into 2024. Bitcoin is worth nothing, all right? It's absolutely worthless. You might think it's worth something, but in essence, the way that it moves, it doesn't move properly. It's a liquidity vehicle. It's a trading vehicle. All right. I think that Bitcoin is used for them to make money to buy real gold. That's what I think it's used for. You can disagree with me all you want, but Bitcoin is useless in a world where there's going to be war. Okay. So what I think is they're going to threaten war. If you threaten war now, it's just a threat, the market can have a nice correction. All right? You can threaten war however they want to do that. Maybe it's the aliens or maybe it's something else. I don't know. But if you threaten war, you can come down here. Or you can do the opposite. Or you can say, you know, we got these new superconductors, they're awesome, whatever, free energy, whatever is good, and then you can pump the price. However, you got to make sure that the United States doesn't get the short. The goal is for Russia and China to get net short crypto. That's the goal. They want the short. All right? They want the short. Okay? So that's pretty much the goal. If I were Russia and China, I would just pump the price, because that would be very unexpected, because people are expecting down here. I would just pump it. I would just pump it and get to 100K. Why would I pump the price? Because America is out of money, okay? They won't be able to afford to buy any Bitcoin up here. The reason price moves the way that it does is because the last person to grab and short the bottom actually gets to control the top, right? So if you're the idiot who gets to short the bottom, someone shorted down here, okay? That is a red candlestick. Is that the 5-day? Go to the 9-day, all right? If you ever go back and look, the bottom of Bitcoin is not a green candlestick. It's not green ever. All right? Go to like the monthly. Let's go to the Binance chart. Right? You go to the monthly. All right? Let me take off my liquidity here. If you ever go look. It's always a red stick. All right? And why does it do that? Because basically what its job is to do is to trap a short into taking a long. All right? So this is a red candlestick, but we know that there's other candlesticks before it. Where's my Bitstamp chart? Bitstamp. Here, Bitstamp. All right. Usually, the last candlestick is a red one. All right. This is your short. This candlestick is driving the price of Bitcoin because there's liquidity down there. Somebody is holding a short to make it go up. That's why price moves up. Not because of whatever. It's because someone needs to get liquidated. So when someone gets liquidated on the monthly time frame, right? So for whatever reason, all right, you'll get a big spike up or an M formation. So there's liquidity now. 1, 2, 3, liquidation, where the red becomes green, right? So someone gets the short here, and you can flip it, all right? So if you remember, Coinbase, right? Coinbase, IPO, America propaganda, they think they snagged the top. Well, what happened? China FUD, right? China sells Bitcoin, bans Bitcoin mining, blah, 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 right? 1, 2, 3 hits to the low, retrace, right? FTX, Solana pumps, you know, and they think they snagged the top. Another red wick, but it just jumps. Someone else snagged the top, all right? Bang, goes down. Right here, this candle, there was Russian war news, and that dumped Bitcoin down to like 31K. So it was the Russian war news that had this huge candle. You retrace, what's here? Interest rates, right? All of a sudden they're doing interest rates. So Russian war news, dump. America pumps it up to where they could, to the highest possible point they could. They couldn't even get past the short that they had built in this point. See, they got out of their long, built a short, and then they dumped it, where Coinbase started shorting again. Coinbase's liquidity is here and here. This is Coinbase's shorts, all right? They just got liquidated, almost liquidated, on the monthly time frame, all right? Because on Bitstamp, you can't really hide very much, all right? So there's no liquidity there, but all the liquidity of the shorts is somewhere probably like in the 9-day or something like that. There's like, see how there's no vectors? It's gone. It's just gone. Oh, there it is. Here, these are Coinbase shorts. They had a stop in here, all right, to where in case they pump the price, their stop got hit high, right? Here's your stop out, red and purple, right? So now they've been stopped out of their short. They also have a long down here, all right, because they have to trade both ways, all right? So they're long from somewhere in here. See how it hits the top? So they would have set their stop probably just above or below previous high. So somewhere in these wicks, their stop is. But they didn't let it, see, when they pumped it up here, they didn't let them set a stop here, right? So now they're not in the short anymore, all right? Because price didn't come back to that point, interestingly enough. It might have tapped it if they got it in. But don't forget how fast price moved, all right? So we don't know if they have if they have a stop loss here, all right? So in my opinion, this wick needs to be tested, all right? This area, these wicks, there's a reason why they test the wicks, all right? Because at the very top of the wick, there's stops. And at the very bottom, there's also stops and buys. So that's why you get this kind of like behavior where it taps the wick, right? And it does this. So like you get these wicks here. 1, 2, 3, right? Retrace. 1, 2. See how it went past all the wicks, right? Taps the wick, taps the wick, taps this wick over here because there is money in there. That's what the vector is. All right, there's something in there, right? Taps this wick over here, right? So it's how it works, right? Taps the wick and then it goes down, right? Big drop. Retrace. Did you tap the wick? No. They held price. CZ held price, right? Here. He didn't let him set a stop here because he knew he was going to come back to that wick right there. Okay? and you got him coming back here, and he's now stopped them out of all of their shorts. So now America and Coinbase is not short anymore. Funnily enough, you can trade leverage on Coinbase, thinking that when price drops here, this is a buying opportunity, right? Because it looks the same, does it not? It looks the same. However, price will not stop there. You will get a bunch of Americans who try to long the bottom and catch this again, and it's just going to fall right through. And Americans are going to lose more money, right? And get liquidated and liquidated and liquidated until you get a W. That's what I think is going to happen. All right? Now, it could do that. Or it could not. All right? Because if they just pump price, because don't forget, they got America by the balls with XRP. All right? This freaking thing. This is bullish. Look at how they play them. See, there's money in this wick down here. Money. Someone else, look at XRP on this time frame, on the 31 day, right? There's red down here. Someone's holding a big short. That makes it go up. All right? That's what makes crypto go up. All right? Look at all these shorts. Why is it not coming back? Why does price not come back to these shorts? Why can't they realize a return? Whose shorts are those? Who shorted XRP on this huge pump thinking that it couldn't go any higher? Because that was a huge pump, right? You see price break the all-time high, right? And why does crypto never come back and touch the top wick, right? When it does, the game might be over because then you can get out of your short. But the reason why crypto pumps is because it doesn't come back and touch the previous all-time high, because then the guy can get out. All right? When you don't let it come back to the previous all-time high, I'm from Frozen, then the guy can get out. That's the game. All right? All right. So that's why it's important for crypto to not touch the previous all-time high. All right? That's why price has not come back to here. That's why you can get another lower low on XRP, right? As long as you don't come back to this wick right here, you're good, right? And there's another wick right here. Well, let's go to like the 44 week or whatever it is. All right? You're good. So I'm a buyer of XRP. See how the vectors stop on the 44 week, right? I'm a buyer anywhere between here and here. If it goes to 9 cents, even better. But I would bet my life that XRP does not go to 6 cents ever again. I would bet my life that XRP probably doesn't go below 18 cents again, because there's a huge liquidity wall here where it can reverse from. Okay? So XRP is very, very bullish. I know that they're going to tell you that it's not. They're lying to you. Okay? XRP is the most bullish chart in almost all of financial assets right now. All right? Look at all this volume. Look at all the volume. When you go to like the 11 month chart, if you're an investor, right? You're going to look at this and go, "All right. Is this thing bullish?" Well, a vector candle, if you know, right? Is a green is 200% more, a red is 200% more, right? Mine are backwards, by the way, all right? And these are just, they're exponentially increasing, right? Their percentage is more, all right? So I got mine switched because I know that red is really selling, right? And green is buying. However, in crypto, red is good because that means it goes up, okay? Because that means there's shorts on it. When there's shorts on it, it goes up because shorts get liquidated. All right? So if you look at this chart, what does it have more of? More shorts or more longs? The retailer, right, will look at this and go, uh-oh, there's a lot of selling going on. However, in crypto, you got to flip your thinking and go, there's a lot of selling, which means there's a lot of shorts on it. If there's a lot of shorts on it, someone wants to go long on that so that it can pump the price. All right. That's why this wick has been untouched, because there's a ton of money in that wick. All right. There is a ton of money in that wick right there. There's 2 wicks. These 2 wicks are like, it's just a trap. All right. It's just a trap. And here's something funny too. He says draw the X. You ever just draw like an XRP for fun across this thing? And it looks like an hourglass, right? X, right? And then you can go R. P. I mean, they're just painting it that way. I mean, that's in essence, it's just it's just like art, man. That's all it is. It's just art. It's hysterical to watch these guys, right? Like try to outtrade the banks. It's absolutely hysterical. And that's why Backer just loves watching it. You got your R, right? And you got your P. XRP. That's what they're painting. I'm telling you right now. It's an XRP. And there's a reason for that too. All right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful painting. When I watch Savvy, he goes, "It looks like a dying penny stock," and he keeps saying it's going to go down. There's a reason why it doesn't go down, right? There's a reason why that Bitcoin dumped today and XRP did nothing. I mean, you go to the 2-day. These guys on the 2-day are all looking at this RSI and they're going, "Oh, it broke the RSI. It's going to come back and back test and come down." Okay, like that's what they're going to say. But what happens when it just goes? Right? How many times have you seen this where you think it's going to back test and then come back down, and instead it just goes? It does it all the time in crypto. It happens all the time. Look at like Bitcoin on the 2-day, right? You come back over to here, right here. I'm pretty sure it did it right here. So people were probably drawing this right here, right? I know people did that, right? And they went, "Oh, it broke the trend line," so they draw it on their RSI over here, right? Probably something like this, right? It broke, but what did it do? It came back up, and then it just kept going up. All right? It just kept going. And it got short up there. It just kept back testing, and then created an order block up here. And then it dropped. All right? So don't get bearish on XRP just because it broke a trend line on the 2-day time frame. All right? You don't play the 2-day time frame. All right? Not on crypto. All right? They'll drop it. Don't get me wrong. They'll probably drop XRP because they want to get more. They need more shorts on it. All right? But you play the 9-day. All right? Until the 9-day breaks, is that still in trend? No. You got plenty of room on the 9-day. It's perfect. You're right in trend. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Even better, a break of this, and then you come back up. All right? That's the way you play XRP. Wait for it to break trend, right? Everyone will FOMO short, and you go long. So if you're looking for an entry on XRPizzle there, probably like the next point of interest for me at least. So you came back down to 43 cents. I'm looking for like 30, right below this low. I mean, you don't need to take half this vector. You're probably only going to take a little bit like you did up here, right? So how much of this 9-day vector did you take? You took... went to there. All right, so you probably do about the same. Maybe you take half, maybe a little bit less. Maybe you take the 0.3, 38 cents. I don't think they're not going to give him half of the vector, because then they would be even. All right? Whoever's trading XRP cannot have half of the 9-day vector. They can't have half. That's why they don't get half. All right? So even if you go back and you replay it, and I don't need to replay the whole thing, but they tried to get half at one point. See, these were vectors right in here. What was it before, right? You got to ask yourself, what was going on before they became vectors, right? So you had a bunch of liquidity up here, and they wanted to get half of this, right? They wanted this, and they wanted this, right? They wanted to get half. What did they get? They got like the 786. They got maybe the 702. Let's check it out. What did they get back in their short on XRP? All right. They got back just the 78, a little bit of the 786. They didn't even get it. They didn't even give them 80% of the vector. They gave them like 18% of the vector. Okay? Because there's a wall there. And they built another wall. Look at the bounces. Bounce, bounce, bounce. There's protection here. This wick is being protected. They don't want them to come back to that wick. All right? Now, if they do come back to that wick, you best believe they're going to pull some tomfoolery in this zone right here. And where that happens, I don't know. But I wouldn't be trading leverage on XRP down in here. You want to trade leverage, in here? Fine. Whatever. But be careful. All right? Because it could just fall. It could just fall. So, trade light and set a stop. All right? Don't go 100x ever on XRP. All right? Don't think you know what it's going to do. You have no idea. All right? So, but, there's stops in here. I don't think that they want to let them back below here. This is support until it's not. The 369 EMA on the 9-day time frame on all cryptos is support. Okay? Period. End of story. If it has a 369 EMA, all right, on the 9-day time frame, let's see if ETH has it. It's support. See how ETH doesn't have it? All right? ETH doesn't have it. So what you want to do is you want to go back and you want to look on your time frames, and you can go like the 4-week. All right? ETH has a VWAP on the, see the VWAP? That's why that purple, that's why Tino's always talking about it. That means there's liquidity, long liquidity building here. There's no VWAP on the 4-week time frame to the up. There's no money up here, okay, for them to come take. On the 2-week, you got very little liquidity. That's basically what the VWAP is. It's the space in which it can build liquidity at. However, all right, you have a lot of liquidity here. And I bet you, if I turn on Lux Algo, right, and if I draw this right here, right, I bet you if I go to like other time frames, like the weekly, right, it follows the liquidity. So like go to the 9-week on Ethereum. See how that line I just drew, right? How that's the 2-week. But on the 9-week, it shows you that there is liquidity up there. All right. However, on the higher time frames, or there was liquidity up there. Where's the liquidity now? On the 9-week time frame, the liquidity is to the downside. All right. There's a little bit here. So what is there more of? Is there more liquidity to the upside? Right? Where are you at? Is there more here? Or is there more here? Where does crypto gravitate towards? It gravitates towards the money. It gravitates towards where it can take money. It takes money from people. So if the liquidity is to the downside, I want, right, to be going that way. Because we can't assume that this liquidity is still here, but I can assume that this liquidity is still here because it didn't take it on the 9-week time frame. All right? I can assume that because what can I assume? I can assume that people don't pay themselves. All right? Why would you pay yourself? If you're in 100x long from the bottom because you had some balls on Ethereum and you longed 100x at $90, why would you ever sell that? Why would you sell it? You wouldn't. I didn't want to sell my XRP 100x long, right? But I did because I saw it. I was like, I saw an M formation at the top. I was like, I gotta sell this. There's no way I'm risking it going back to 47 cents. And I'm glad I did sell it because it went to because it went there because it always goes there. Okay, so it will go to wherever the liquidity is. All right, so you can do whatever you want. So if you're gonna track liquidity, all right, like let's say on like the 18-week time frame, all right, if I had to track this, you can make like an X, all right, make an X through the liquidity to where it is now and to where it was. Someone just got liquidated, all right, and then you can draw like a reversal diamond around it, all right. And what I do is I just kind of take off everything else and I change these to green. Like it's like a liquidity reversal diamond in essence. All right. So you can just draw that there. Right. You can draw it to the top of the liquidity. You can draw it to the bottom, and it's basically a liquidity reversal diamond. In essence, but you got to draw it to the vectors on that time frame if that's the time frame that you're trading on, right? So that one was red, this one is green. All right, from back here, and this is how I would play it. ETH is not as symmetrical as Bitcoin, right? But in essence, you'd get like some kind of geometric shape, and this is how they freaking do it, man. I'm telling you. All right, you got to play with the geometry of it, and you got to play with, because this is like an imbalance here. Should have came out a little bit more. So ETH is more like a pyramid than anything else. Don't forget like what shape the Ethereum takes. All right, ETH is that, I forget what it's called. I don't know what shape it is, but yeah. All right, so just make that gray because there's your gray area. All right, and so basically you would just do that and then do your gray area and go the 702 over retracement. All right, golden pocket 0.5382. All right, and I would expect ETH to come somewhere in here. Top side 950, middle 969 probably. My guess on Mr. Ethereum. All right, that would be in essence how these mother truckers draw their liquidity. Okay, they use geometric shapes, and study this right here, because this is everything. All right. This guy. All right. All this stuff right here, this is how it works. All right. Where's the Ethereum one? Yeah, here it is. All right. There's a reason it's shaped like that. So Ethereum, 144 inches, 144 minutes, 144. So with Ethereum, you probably should be using the 144 day. All right, to find your liquidity. All right, because that's Ethereum's shape. Look at that right there. Same thing. It's fine. So the same thing. All right. So you just got to use those shapes. Each one has its own shape. For Bitcoin, it's a block. All right. It's a square. For XRP, you literally just draw XRP. It's so funny. If you draw XRP on XRP, it comes out. It's so funny. It's hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. I don't know if I saved my... I don't know if I should. I do want to take a picture of it, but you can do that way. I mean, whatever it is, all right? So, nonetheless, you're going to think I'm crazy, but look at those links I put in the chat, all right? Go through this stuff. This stuff works, all right? And don't believe any of the FUD. And this is your support until it's not. The 369 EMA on the 9-day time frame is support until it's not. All right. If it breaks, then I would be looking for AK. All right. And don't go on leverage, because you don't know if it's going to go straight to 2 All right, you don't know, but it should get a bounce in here. I expect a reversal in here. If it doesn't go there, all right, I expect the bounce right, either right below or above. I'm not sure. It could bounce anywhere in here. All right, there's a lot going on Bitcoin. All right, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of players in Bitcoin. And you can tell when you draw these geometric shapes out. All right, so the first thing you do, like they stop hunted the 50 EMA. The next stop is the 200. All right, they're gonna check in between the 233 EMA and the 200 EMA for a stop. All right, so you're looking at 23,000. All right, and just below it should pin the 233 EMA around 21 something. It should pin there and bounce. All right, and that's how you're gonna get your 3 levels of drop on Bitcoin after the retrace. I expect a retrace. I do expect a retrace because I think in all fairness, I just don't know how high it's gonna go. All right, in essence, there's got to be a retrace. It doesn't have to be, but you know, it's water, mayo, support. And then whatever you get in here, you can get a higher retrace, a lower retrace, but in essence, you're playing EMAs. You're playing the bottom of the 233 at 22,422, and you're playing the 369 at 17K. All right, and anything else in here. Otherwise, right in here, they're just laddering in their shorts. They're building shorts, is what they're doing for the retrace. That's what they're doing. All right, that's what's going on in the VWAP here. People are getting long and short at the same time for it to drop, test, and then see who's long and short, test here for a higher retrace, and someone else is going to take the short up here. So if you want to get out of Bitcoin, you'll probably be able to get out where the previous liquidity was, probably on the lower side where this liquidity is right here. All right, before the big drop, which should be coming very soon. Or it could just straight drop. Or it could be straight drop, best short ever. But I'm not playing for shorts. Not on your only retail shorts level 3. Okay? You look for longs. All right? Where are you going to look for longs? You're going to look for longs at the 200/233 EMA. All right? On the 9-day time frame. All right? This is where you look for your first long. In between the EMAs. Here's where you look for your second long. In or below this 369 EMA. That would be a great spot for a W reversal. Where, in my opinion, because everyone's looking for 8, no one's really looking for, just below here, which would give you a beautiful 22 trade. This is what you call a 22 trade, where you get 2 W formations. It's another market maker setup. 22 trade. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 22 trades. 22 trade, but you got to keep the short. You don't want to get rid of this short. This short is gold. All right? You want this short. All right? You don't want to come back to the vector. You don't want to. You want a short on Bitcoin. Because the guy that holds the short from the lows controls Bitcoin. Okay? That's the guy. The guy who holds the short from the lows. So let me give you an example. Who controls Bitcoin here? This one. Whoever this is gets to control the next top. All right? That guy liquidates this guy who has to short the top. Right? This guy has to short the top. Okay? That guy that shorts the top gets liquidated here. Right? And then the guy that shorted the bottom gets to short the top. Okay? Then the guy that gets to short the top gets to short the bottom or try to short the bottom unless he misses it. That's what this blue candle is. That's America missing the bottom. America creates crazy stuff, tries to short the bottom, but it gets snatched from them again. Oh no. Create money printing. Let's get back to the top. Oh, we got the top. That's what this doji is. That's the New York session. All right. Somebody wicked them out with a doji. Dojis are Asia. Asia bans Bitcoin. All right. Well, let's do some tomfoolery. Pump Solana, FTX, Tom Brady, all this nonsense, and they tried to short the top. Right. Who was waiting for him? Putin. Got the top. Okay. They tried to buy back and was hit with a sell wall from over here, right, in these vectors. See? Pin to this pin, this pin, this pin, this pin. There's your 22 trade at the top. 22 trade. 2 M's on the top. I expect 2 big M's on the bottom. That's 22 trade. All right? That's the trade. 22 trade. If it goes below, who cares? Whatever, 14, whatever it is, who cares? You know, you can buy here. Because what's the difference between buying Bitcoin? Because you know why? Is because someone's holding someone else here. It's very likely that you're gonna at least come back to previous all-time high here. All right, it's very likely you come back to 19K. Very, very likely, because it's the previous all-time high. All right, so if you do, all right, end up trying to long here, right, on a bounce, and you set your stop there, so what if you get stopped out? That's why 22 trade, right? Because everyone is going to do that. That's why you need 4 hits to the low, all right, or maybe more, all right. 1, 2, 22 trade. 1, 2, and you'll get another like mini W over here, right? Where you're going to get like an inverse head and shoulders type deal. 22 trade, where someone will snag the gap. Someone will do that. This is where the manipulation will happen, right in here. Probably just kind of tap. It probably doesn't want to tap this wick right here. Right? I don't think that. I think they want to miss that wick right there. They don't want to touch the wicks on the top. When you touch the wicks on the top, things get a little bit dicey. All right? If it touches the top wick, you're good. That means someone's taking some other guy's short. Right? Because someone had to short here. Someone had to long here. Whoever longed here wants to short back here. All right? That's what these wicks are. All right? They're like little antennas, if you will. Right? If you go back and you look, you can see the little antennas. Right? You spread the chart out. That's why you just follow the wicks. See that? See the wicks here? Because it's a vector candle, there's little mini orders in these wicks. Like microscopic. But they're big. That's why it's a vector. Because even though like it happens fast, the transaction goes through and it's like high volume at high speed. It's tick volume. It's why it turns it into a vector, because there's an order there. All right? So it needs to pass through the vectors for it to move in ever which way direction. That's why these vectors exist. And the ones that they come back to the most often are the stopping volume. So there's all these stopping volume candles in here. If you don't want these to get hit, it's got to stop before here. It's got to stop before 12K. That's why everyone thinks 10K, because they see all the stopping volume candles. It doesn't have to go there. It only needs to come back to maybe that one twice. The previous all-time high twice and move away from it. Funnily enough, that is where the 369 EMA is. That's why you'll get 4 hits probably just below it, right? It'll pin it once, won't hit it probably will hit somewhere in there. They'll have to get long, get short, whatever. All right. It's going to go through all of these 9 EMAs. You're just going to get this sideways price action movement here. And now whatever happens in 2024 with BlackRock and all them, either you're going to get a move up or maybe you get the move down and then up. All right. So you don't know, but whatever. It could do anything. Because don't forget, if it goes higher, they risk Coinbase getting the short, which is very unlikely. All right. They risk them getting the short. But the goal is probably somewhere like around 100K. Probably a little bit lower. All right. My guess would be, 87, something like that. All right. Study the shapes. All right. Go do all that stuff. All right. I know my theories are a little bit wacky or whatever, but just get the 369 on your chart on the 4-hour time frame right now. Where are we? We are below all EMAs. All right. And you got a stopping volume candle. They're just holding price, right? So I expect this area to be tested, right? All these vectors, they need to be tested. I expect at least the bottom side wick here will be tested somewhere between these two wicks. They might not test that wick. You don't know. You would expect it, right? You would expect them to take half the wick. But don't forget, the guy that holds the short on Bitcoin has all the control. It could just pump. It could just pump, and it could just keep going. And then America has no money to play in the crypto market. And they have to rely on us to supply the liquidity on Coinbase if they want the liquidity to play in the crypto market. If they want the liquidity to use our crypto to leverage trade on Coinbase, then they need our money. All right? So I don't know what they'll do. But crypto is a business and it makes money. But I don't know for day trades, but in essence, like I told you, I'm repeating myself, but this area right here, in here, may need to be tested. And this area right here may need to be tested. And if they test those two areas, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna need to do some business down here. All right. And just like with XRP, someone's holding them short. They're going to give them very little of the short. All right. They're going to give them very little. 14.08. Something like that. It's going to be very little. All right. They're not going to give them very much on the shorts because Russia, China, they want to get short. They want to sell high, right? Short high. And they're going to want to buy low. Real low. How low can it go? All right. That's my range. That's your range. All right. Like 93K. It all depends on what BlackRock does. Right? BlackRock wants to pump with the Asians and get into the Asian market and get into them. Bitcoin to 100K. Right? BlackRock says they're running with America and all that other stuff. Bitcoin will go lower. And Asia will dump the F out of this bad boy with war and all that other stuff and all that other stuff. But I don't expect that to happen until 2025. I think we got some time. I think we have one cycle left. And we're going to get a 22 trade. All right? This was not a 22 trade. Everyone expects Bitcoin to come back to the wicks. Everyone expects Bitcoin to come back down. Everyone expects it. What they don't expect is a 22 trade. A quadruple bottom. A quadruple bottom. You got a double bottom, right? What do you usually get? Double bottom, right? You might think that it's like this. These are two pins, right? Pin to the Mayo. Look at the precision. Right between the 233 and the 200. Okay? It'll go there. All right? And then it'll go there. and then it'll come. This is where the manipulation happens, right in here. This area right here on the 9 is where the manipulation can happen. All right, but keep in mind that your 14-day has a 369 EMA. So this is my clock as of right now. All right, this is my clock. Tick, 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 pin, tick, pin. And then wherever that second pin comes in, whether it's lower, right? It'll be lower. It'll hit somewhere in the gap here where it doesn't hit the vector. It's not going to hit the vector. It's not. It's going to hit in between the vectors. All right? It'll hit some dead gap zone and bounce. Somewhere the orders are not, right? But there's other orders back into here. So be mindful that there's vectors throughout this whole entire region, right? There's a purple vector, a blue vector, and if they don't want it to hit it, look at, there's no vector here. I don't expect it to come back. I expect a bounce. Somewhere where there's no vector, right? Somewhere where it hasn't tested already. All right? It's going to be somewhere unexpected. The bottom is either going to be like higher or lower, so you got to kind of figure that out. All right? That's why people are like they think that's why Crown is always talking about how he thinks the lows are in. The lows are probably in because they don't want to come back and let him out of a position that they have built in here. There's like some kind of like stop loss safety thing, right? That lets them out of their position here, right? To where price can't just move sideways forever until they decide what to do with it. Because Bitcoin's just going to go sideways. It's just going to go sideways. It's just going to go sideways. This is all it's going to do. It's just going to go sideways. XRP though, while Bitcoin goes sideways, XRP will go sideways and up. Sideways and up. Like fake dump and then up. And it's just going to mess with the banks. It's just going to mess with the banks left and right. So you just hold in spot XRP until you know, whatever they want to do. That's their plan. All right, I'm out of here. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.